Hello dear students, I welcome you all to my channel. Today we'll discuss on very important topic and most confusing topics in between the students. Okay, so the very confusing topics are regarding these properties of a triangle. Okay, so let us discuss one topic at a time. So here we'll first discuss about incenter of a triangle. Okay, so you have already done constructions of incenter. So whenever you are doing construction of incenter, what you used to do is you used to bisect each angle. Okay, suppose this is my 60, then you used to make it 30 degrees. So you used to bisect this. Okay, so this angle and this angle, they are equal. All right, and similarly you used to do the same with this. Right, so this also used to get bisected. Okay, so it's getting intersected out here. Yes, and one more thing you used to do is you used to bisect this as well. Okay, and all this bisector of angles get intersected at the very same point. Yes, so such kind of center is called incenter and it is denoted as I. Okay, so let me repeat once again. So to draw incenter, what you need to do is you have to bisect each vertex angle. Okay, and the bisectors, wherever they get intersected, that point is known as incenter. All right, now the next topic is circumcenter. Now you have done constructions on drawing circumcircle, isn't it? So circumcenter is the center of the circumcircle. Okay, and the process of drawing circumcircle is you used to draw perpendicular bisector of each side. Perpendicular bisector. For example, let me take this. Okay, so let me take this and take the midpoint. So it's lying somewhere over here. Okay, so this is the midpoint because I'm talking about perpendicular bisector. So the sides has to be bisected. So that's why I have taken midpoint of this as this one. From here I have to draw a perpendicular. Okay, so this is my perpendicular bisector of this side. All right, so similarly what we used to do is we used to draw perpendicular bisector of this as well. Okay, so take the midpoint. So this is my midpoint somewhere over here and draw a perpendicular. All right, so draw a perpendicular. Similarly, you take the midpoint of this somewhere over here and draw a perpendicular, and all the perpendiculars has to pass through the same point. So this point is called circumcenter. So that's what is the meaning of circumcenter. All right, okay, so let me repeat once again. So in order to draw circumcenter, what do you need to do? You have to draw the perpendicular bisector of each side of the triangle. Okay, and wherever all the perpendicular bisector gets intersected, that point is called circumcenter. All right, so this is all about your circumcenter. Now next is orthocenter, very important. So orthocenter means from each vertex you have to draw perpendicular. How? Let us see. So for example, from this vertex I am drawing a perpendicular. See, this is my perpendicular. Okay, similarly from this vertex as well we will draw a perpendicular to this. Okay, so it might not be exact, but assume that this is exactly 90 degree. Okay, so from this vertex also I have drawn perpendicular, and from the last vertex also I have to draw a perpendicular. So I don't know how my diagram is going to look. Okay, so this is how my perpendicular is drawn. So wherever it gets intersected, that point is called orthocenter. So remember, okay, so to draw orthocenter, what do you need to do? You have to draw perpendicular from each vertex. Okay, and the point where all the perpendiculars gets intersected, that point is called orthocenter. Okay, now the last one is centroid of a triangle. Now in order to draw centroid, we have to draw medians. Now what is the meaning of median? Let's try to understand. Again, the word contains mid. Mid means midpoint, right? So basically we will draw midpoint of each side. Okay, so for example here this is the midpoint, this is the midpoint, and this is the midpoint. I am just taking rough midpoints. All right, so this is the midpoint. So go to, see, this is the side, go to opposite vertex, this is the opposite vertex. So from there I have to draw a line joining the midpoint. See, this is not perpendicular, remember this is a slant line, isn't it? Okay, so this is the midpoint and this is the vertex, so this line is called median. Okay, so we will draw another median. So from here we will join this. Okay, fine. Okay, and the last one is this one. So this will be joined with this vertex. So we have, all of them will get intersected at the very same point. Okay, and this point is called centroid of a triangle. Okay, so this point is called centroid of a triangle. Let me repeat once again. The point of intersection of the medians of a triangle. Okay, so this line, and this line, wherever they gets intersected, that particular point is called centroid of that particular triangle. Okay, hope now your confusion got over. So with this, you may pause the video to note down this particular diagram. Okay, let me take the first question for the day, question number 7-2. I'm not doing question number 1, you will try that by yourself. Okay, so question number 7-2 says, write the coordinates of the ortho center of the triangle whose sides lie along the lines x equals to 0, y equals to 0 and 3x minus 5y plus 7 equals to 0. Okay, so basically there is a triangle given to you, okay, and 3 sides of the triangle is given. And what are the 3 sides? It is given as x equals to 0, okay, and we know that x equals to 0 is what? X equals to 0 is y-axis, no? So let me draw y-axis. Okay, so this is my x equals to 0. And another line is y equals to 0. So y equals to 0 is what? This is my x-axis, no? So this is my y equals to 0. And another line is given as 3x minus 5y plus 7 equals to 0. Okay, so it may be somewhat like this or like this, I don't know, right? So let's try to see what kind of line is that. Okay, so the given lines are, let me so let's try to draw this line over there. So let's try to write this in which form? We are going to write this in intercept form, which we have learnt. Okay, so we know that let me call this as 1, let me call this as 2, let me call this as 3. Okay, so for equation 3, so let us find what is my a, that is, or x intercept. Let me write x intercept. So x intercept will be, so what is the formula for finding x intercept? It is minus c by a, isn't it? See, what is c for me? C is 7, and what is a for me? A is 3, right? So that's why it will be minus c, that is 7 by 3, right? Because a is 3. So this is my minus 7 by 3, that is x intercept. So minus 7 by 3 lies where? It lies this way, right? So let me take this to be minus 7 by 3. Okay, and next is y intercept. So what is the formula for finding y intercept? So y intercept will be equals to minus c by b, isn't it? Now what is c here? C is again 7, and what is b? B, as you can see, is minus 5. So how much is this? This is 7 by 5. Now this 7 by 5 is y intercept, so that's why in the y axis I have to go up, right? Because it is positive. So 7 by 5 lies somewhere over here. I'm just assuming that. So this is my 7 by 5. So this is my third line. Okay, so this is my x equals to 0, this is my y equals to 0, and this is my third line, that is 3x minus 5y plus 7 equals to 0. I hope you are understanding how am I drawing the lines. Okay, so from here you will find x intercept, which is turning out to be this much, okay, and you will find y intercept which is turning out to be this much, and just join it, okay. So for this particular triangle, for example, let me call this as A, this is my origin O, and let me call this as B. So basically we have to find what is the ortho center of triangle AOB. Okay, so we know how to draw ortho center. We draw perpendicular from each vertex, right? And wherever any two, see, we know that all the three will get intersected at the same point, right? So we'll just find point of intersection of two perpendiculars, because we know that all of them, all the three will get intersected at the same point. So no need to waste our time in finding for 3. We'll just find for 2. Okay, for example, this and this, as you can see from the figure, gets intersected at this point, and this point is called ortho center. So we'll take any two vertex and just draw perpendicular. Okay, so for example, if I take this vertex, draw a perpendicular, but we know that this is already perpendicular, isn't it? So that's why if you draw perpendicular, this will lie along the same line. Okay, so let me take another vertex B. So from vertex B, let me draw a perpendicular. So again, the perpendicular lies exactly on this line. Yes, so you can see that this perpendicular and this perpendicular, both of them gets intersected where? It gets intersected at origin, isn't it? So basically from here we came across a very important thing to know, that in a right angled triangle, remember, in a right angled triangle, wherever is 90 degree, that point will be your ortho center. Okay, so that means what will be ortho center from this? The ortho center is the origin. Okay, so from the figure, see, you have to draw the figure as well, all right? So therefore, from the figure, it is seen that the triangle is a right angled at origin. Yes, so therefore ortho center will be equals to 0, 0 in this case. All right, so the next, that is 7, 1 is also similar. Try to plot the points given to you, okay, and join the lines. You will find that in that case also you will get a right angle triangle with a right angle at origin. So in first case also your ortho center is going to be 0, 0. All right, so you may pause the video to note down. Okay, let's see question number 8. I'm again taking question number 2. So in this case already hint is given to you. So hint is circumcenter. So here you need to find circumcenter. Circumcenter of a right triangle is the midpoint of its hypotenuse. So that's what is the question saying. So let me quickly draw the diagram out here. So the given lines are okay. So as usual, x-axis and y-axis are there. So let me draw x-axis and y-axis. All right, so this is my x-axis, that is y equals to 0, and this is my y-axis, that is x equals to 0. Next line is 3x plus 2y equals to minus 12 equals to 0. So for 3, again we will find x intercept. So x intercept is minus c by a, right? Okay, so minus c is how much? It is minus 12 by a. How much is a? A is 3. So if you do the cancellation and multiplication of sign, you will get that this will be equals to 4. So that's why x intercept, see, x intercept is 4. So 4 will lie somewhere over here. So this is my 4. Okay, so next is y intercept. So y-intercept can be found using minus c by b, right? So minus c is again minus 12 by b is how much? B is 2, so this is equals to 6. So that's why my y-intercept will be somewhere over here. So join this, okay? So this will be my third line, which is 3x plus 2y equals to 12. Okay, so again, as you can clearly see from the figure, this is what kind of triangle? This is again a right angle triangle, isn't it? So this is again a right angle triangle, and we have to find the circumcenter of this particular triangle. And the hint that is already given to you is the circumcenter will lie exactly in the midpoint of the hypotenuse in a right angle triangle. So this is my hypotenuse here, right? So my midpoint will be somewhere over here. Okay, so this will be my circumcenter, and we need to find the circumcenter of this. Okay, so before we need to find the midpoint of this. Okay, so here, in order to find the midpoint, we must know what is this and what is this. All right, so therefore, okay, so as we already know that this is 6, right? So that's why this will be equals to how much? 0, 6. The coordinate of this will be y-intercept. Y height is given to be 6, no? And similarly, this is 4, 0, because we are not moving towards y out here. All right, and this is obviously my 0, 0. Okay, so therefore, from okay, so midpoint is 0 plus 4 whole divided by 2. Yes, so 0 plus 4 whole divided by 2. Yes, and 6 plus 0 whole divided by 2. 6 plus 0 whole divided by 2. That is, so how much is this? This is 4 by 2, which is 2, comma, and this is how much? 3, isn't it? So that's why, see, the midpoint turns out to be 2, 3 out here, right? So okay, so therefore your circumcenter will be 2, 3. So you may pause the video to note down. Before we go into the next question, so let us again quickly revise about the angle of intersection of two lines. Okay, so there's a formula which says tan theta equals to modulus of m1 minus m2 whole divided by 1 plus m1 m2. So this is the formula for finding angle of intersection of two lines with slope m1 and m2. Okay, so we'll see how to find angle of intersection between two straight lines whose equations are given. Okay, so for example, let me take question number 9. Question number 9 says, what is the acute angle between the lines x plus y equals to 0 and y equals to 0? So let me write what are the given lines. Okay, so this is my question number 9. The okay, so the given lines are these two. Let me call this as equation 1, let me call this as equation 2, and this is y equals to 0 is x-axis. Okay, so in order to find the angle of intersection between them, these two lines, what we need to know is we need to know m1 and m2, that is their slopes. Okay, so if I compare this with my ax plus, okay, let me write comparing, okay, 1 with ax plus by plus c equals to 0. What is the coefficient of x here? It is a. And what is the coefficient of x here? It is 1, right? So we have a equals to how much? A is equals to 1. Similarly, the coefficient of y here is b. quotient of y here is 1. So, and b is equals to 1, and we don't have any constant term out here, right? So that's why c, this c becomes 0 for me. Okay, so therefore slope of 1. So let us see what is the slope of this. So let me call this as m1, and we know that slope for ax plus by plus c equals to 0 will be minus a by b, isn't it? And what is the value of a and b? Let us put. So it is a is 1, yes, b is also 1. So that's why slope for this particular line is how much? It is minus 1. Okay, and the next case is very simple. Y equals to 0 is x-axis, right? So we know that x-axis, the slope of x-axis, okay, this x-axis is making angle 0 with x-axis, no, because slope is what? Slope is defined as tan theta, right, where theta is called inclination. And what is the inclination of x-axis with x-axis? It is 0, isn't it? So that's why we can say clearly, okay, slope of x-axis, and let me call this as m2 will be equals to 0. Remember, okay, so slope of x-axis will be always 0 and slope of y-axis will always be undefined. You need to remember these two, okay? So we have found a m1 and m2. Now let us make use of that particular formula in order to find what is the angle of intersection. Okay, so therefore angle of intersection between 1 and 2 is tan theta equals to this much. So let us put the values. So we have m1 is how much? m1 is minus 1. So minus 1 minus m2 is 0 divided by 1 minus m1 is minus 1 and m2 is 0. So let us evaluate this. So this is minus 1 minus 0 is minus 1 divided by 1. See here, anything into 0 is 0, right? So it is, this whole thing is 0. So 1 minus 0 is 1. So how much is this? Minus 1 by 1 is minus 1, isn't it? And the modulus means we have to get rid of sign. So from here we get this tan theta is equals to 1 only. Okay, and this happens if my value for theta is 45 degree, because we know that tan 45 is 1. So therefore what is the angle of intersection? So the angle of intersection will be 45 degree. Alright, so you may pause the video to note down. Okay, let's directly jump to question number 23. From 9 I am directly doing 23 because 23 is also based on the very same topic, that is the angle of intersection between two lines. Okay, so the given lines here are, so 23. Two. Okay, so we need to find what is the angle of intersection between 1 and 2 using the very same formula. Okay, so if you see here, okay, so comparing 1, or let me write it this way, the general equation is ax plus by plus c equals to 0. Let me call this as equation 3. Okay, so comparing 1 and 3. So let's compare 1 and 3. Okay, so 1 and 3. So what is the coefficient of x here? It is 1. Coefficient of x here is a. So that's why a will be equals to 1. So therefore a will be equals to 1. Now the quotient of y here is b, but we don't have any y quantity out here, right? So that's why here b will be equals to 0. Okay, so for equation 1 b will be equals to 0, and c, that is the constant term here is c, and here it is 1. So that's why the value for c will be equals to 1. So therefore slope for 1. So therefore slope of 1, let me call this as equation, I'm sorry, m1. Okay, so this is minus a by b, isn't it? So minus a is how much? 1 by 0. 0 is I'm sorry, b is 0. So minus 1 by 0 is what? It is minus infinity. Remember that. Okay, so the slope of this particular line turns out to be minus infinity. Okay, fine. Next is we'll compare 2 and 3. Okay, so comparing 2 and 3. Okay, so comparing 2 and 3, let's see. So clearly a will be equals to root 3, b will be equals to 1 and c will be equals to minus 3. So therefore slope of, see here carefully, so slope of number 2, equation 2, that is, let me call this as m2, will be equals to minus a by b, that is minus a. A is how much? A is root 3, yes, by b. B is 1, which is minus minus root 3. So the slope of second line, that is m2, turns out to be minus root 3. Alright. Okay, now working with infinity creates a problem. How? Let's see. Because we have got minus infinity, right? So in order to find the angle of intersection between them, we are going to have a bit problem. How? Let us see. So we have, therefore, angle of intersection, you write, okay, so angle of intersection between 1 and 2 will be tan theta equals to m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 m2. Now here, what problem that we are going to see is, here we are going to have, see, m1 is how much? m1 turned out to be minus infinity, isn't it? So this is minus infinity, yes, and m2 is minus root 3. Now how do you evaluate this? Minus infinity, minus into minus is plus, so minus infinity plus root 3 is in the numerator. Similarly in the denominator we have, this is minus infinity, this is minus root 3. So this becomes minus into minus is plus, infinity into root 3. So this is creating a bit problem out here. Okay, so what I want to suggest you is, whenever you see that your slope is turning out to be minus infinity, okay, so that time you have to search for alternative method. So that's why whatever I did is not going to work in this case. Okay, so here let's try to understand the question geometrically. So in order to try to understand geometrically, okay, so let me take x-axis and y-axis. So this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis. Okay, so this is x equals to minus 1, isn't it? This is x equals to minus 1. And how does this line look? X equals to a, no? See, if you compare this, x equals to minus 1, then this looks like x equals to a. And we know that this is the equation of a line which is parallel to y-axis. And this a stands for the distance between the line and the y-axis. And what is the distance between, okay, so what is the value of a here? A is minus 1. So that's why distance between the line and the y-axis has to be minus 1. So minus 1 will be out here. So this is my x equals to minus 1. Okay, so this is my x equals to minus 1 parallel to y-axis. Okay, and there's another line, that is this line. Okay, so I don't know how the line looks. Let me assume that this is my, okay, so this is my number 1 and this is my line number 2. Okay, so basically the question is asking, what is this angle? Yes, okay, so in order to find this angle, here what we are going to do is, we'll find this angle. Okay, so we'll find this angle. We know that this is 90 degree, and from this triangle, if we know this angle and this angle, then obviously we will be able to know this angle as well. Alright, so that's what we are going to do. See here, we have this line, isn't it? We have this line. We already obtained the slope of this line, which is minus root 3. Okay, now we'll find what is the slope of this. And what is this? This is actually x-axis, and the slope of x-axis is what? Slope of x-axis is 0. Okay, so basically you are going to draw this diagram as well. Okay, so let me draw this in a clean manner for you. Okay, so your diagram is shown out here. So this is your x plus 1 equals to 0, okay, which is parallel to y axis, okay, and this is my root 3x plus y minus 3 equals to 0, that is equation 2. Okay, now from the figure it is clear that x plus 1 equals to 0, that is green line, is perpendicular to x axis, right? So this is perpendicular to x axis, so that's why this theta angle made by this line with positive direction of x axis is 90 degree. So the slope of this line will be tan theta, that's tan 90 degree, and tan 90 degree is undefined. So that's why hence its slope is undefined, right? So whenever we get undefined, we will omit the case and we'll try another way of finding the angle of intersection, as I said earlier. Okay, so hence we consider triangle ABC. Okay, so we consider triangle ABC where angle B is equals to 90 degree. Okay, now in this case we are going to find this angle, as I said earlier. Okay, so this angle is what? This is the angle between the line and the x axis. Okay, so we have slope of BC. Slope of BC is what? Actually slope of x axis, isn't it? So let me call this as actually M1. Let me call this as M1. So slope of BC, I am calling it to be M1, which is equals to slope of x axis, and we know that slope of x axis is always equals to 0. Okay, now comparing two with ax plus by plus c equals to 0. So you have already seen this part. So we have a equals to root 3, b equals to 1, and c equals to how much? Minus 3, right? Okay, so therefore slope of this line, that is AC, let me call this as AC. Okay, so slope of AC will be equals to, let me call this as M2, will be equals to minus a by b. So minus a is root 3 by b is 1. So this is minus root 3, as you all know. Okay, and now let us find, see, we know the slope of this BC, which is, that is M1 equals to 0, and we know the slope of this, that is M2 will be equals to minus root 3. Now let us make use of these two, M1 and M2, and find what is this angle. Okay, so therefore tan of this angle, okay, so this angle is ACB, so tan of angle ACB will be equals to, again using the formula, M1 minus M2 by 1 plus M1 M2. Okay, so let us put the values. So we have from here M1 is how much? M1 is equals to 0. So we have 0 minus M2. M2 is minus root 3 by 1 plus M1 is 0. M2 is minus root 3. Okay, so from here this is, see, 0 plus root 3 is plus root 3. Again this quantity is 0, so root 3 by how much is there? 1. So root 3 by 1 is 1, and this is already positive, so this modulus also keep it positive only. So from here we see that tan of angle ACB is equals to root 3 only, and we know that tan 60 degree will be equals to root 3, isn't it? So that's why the value of, so from here we have angle ACB equals to 60 degree. Alright, so therefore at last you will write, in triangle ABC, angle A plus angle B plus angle C equals to 180 degree. So we need to calculate this angle, isn't it? This is the angle theta. Okay, so let me call this as theta, plus angle B. Angle B is how much? It is 90 degree, plus angle C. Angle C is how much? Angle C will be equals to 60 degree, equals to 180 degree. So from here calculate the value of theta. So theta turns out to be 30 degree, as you can clearly see. Alright, so that's why at last you write angle of intersection between 1 and 2 is 30 degree. All right, so you may pause the video to note down. Let's move to question number 13.2. Okay, so question says, if the lines 3x plus y equals to 4, x minus ay plus 7 equals to 0, and bx plus 2y plus 5 equals to 0 form three consecutive sides of the rectangle, find the values of a and b. So they are talking about a rectangle. So let me quickly draw a rectangle out here. Okay, so let me take any three consecutive sides. So if I take this, this and this, the equations given here are, so one of the equation given is 3x plus y equals to 4. Okay, so the next is given to be x minus ay plus 7 equals to 0. Yes, and the last one is given to be bx plus 2y plus 5 equals to 0. Okay, so three consecutive sides are given, so you need to find the value of a and b. Now if you see here, okay, so let me write the given lines are, so let me write in general form. So this is my 13, question number 2. The okay, so these are the given equations, and here since they are actually consecutive sides of your rectangle, okay, so in rectangle we know that this line and this line, they will be parallel, and we know that these two will be perpendicular, isn't it? So basically in order to find a and b, these two will make use of slopes here. We'll find the slope of this, and the slope of this will be equal to this because they are parallel. Similarly, we'll find slope of this. Okay, slope of this into slope of this must be equals to -1 as they are perpendicular to each other. Okay, so let us find the slopes. So slope of equation 1, let me call this as m1. So this is minus a by b. Yes, so minus a is how much here? It is 3 by b is how much? 1. So that's why slope is -3 for first one. So m1 is -3. So this is -3, remember. Now let us find slope of 2. So slope of 2. Okay, so slope of 2 will be equals to, again let me call this as m2 minus a by b. And how much is a? A is the coefficient of x, don't get confused. Okay, so the coefficient of x here is 1, so minus a by b, and b is the coefficient of y. So what is the coefficient of y? It is minus a. So that's why it is minus into minus is plus, so it is 1 by a. So the value of m2 is 1 by a. So similarly, slope of 3, let me call this as m3, will be equals to how much? It will be equals to minus a by b. A here is b, okay, by b. B is equals to 2. So that's why my slope turns out to be minus b by 2. So for this it is 1 by a, and for this we have minus b by 2. So you need to remember these three things. Okay, so as we know that 1 and 3 are parallel, okay, so as 1 is parallel to 3, okay, so what must happen? Their slopes must be equal. So that's why m1 must be equals to m3. So m1 must be equals to m3. So let us put the values. So m1 is how much? It is -3 equals to m3. m3 is minus b by 2. So from here, what is the value of b? The value of b turns out to be 6. Okay, so we found the value of b. Now let us find the value of a. Find the value of a using these two. Okay, so we can say this 1 and 2, they are perpendicular to each other, right? So as 1 and 2 are perpendicular to each other, m1 into m2 must be equals to how much? Their slopes. This m1 into m2 must be equals to -1, right? Let us put the value. So m1 is how much? It is -3 into m2. m2 is how much? It is 1 by a is equals to -1. Yes, so if you calculate the value of a from here, okay, so this minus and minus can be removed. So this 3 by a equals to 1. So that's why from here a turns out to be 3. All right, so the value of a is 3 and the value of b is 6. So you may pause the video to note down. Now let's take question number 16. Question 16 says, prove that the line through the points x1, y1 and parallel to the line. Okay, so let me write whatever things are given. Okay, so the given line is question number 16, right? So the given lines are, the given line is okay, so this is the given line and there's a line. Okay, so for example, let me call this to be the given line. Okay, and there's a line which is parallel to this line, that is this line. Okay, so let me write down the parallel line. Okay, and this parallel line passes through the point x1, y1 as per the question. Okay, so we need to prove that. Okay, the equation of this line will be equals to a into x minus x1 plus b into y minus y1 equals to 0. I hope the question is clear to you. So this is the given line, capital AX plus by plus c equals to 0. Okay, and there's a line parallel to this, okay, which passes through x1, y1. So we need to prove that the equation of this line will be this much. Okay, so let me call this as equation 1. Okay, so the line parallel to 1 will be of the form. Okay, so if you remember the formula, ax plus by plus c equals to 0. If this is your given line, then parallel line to this will be of the form ax plus by plus lambda equals to 0, isn't it? And we need to find the value of lambda. Okay, so will be of the form ax plus by. It won't change, as you can see. So you just need to change c and make it lambda. Okay, so will be of the form ax plus by plus lambda equals to 0. Let me call this as 2. So this is the line, this one, yes, because this is parallel to this. Okay, and we know that this line passes through x1, y1. Yes, in order to find lambda we have to make use of that. So as 2 passes through what, x1, y1. So we can substitute instead of x, x1, and in place of y I can write y1. Okay, so therefore we have ax1 plus by1. See, instead of x I have written x1, instead of y I have written y1 plus lambda equals to 0. And what is our aim? Our aim is to find lambda. So let us find what is the value of lambda from here. So this means that lambda will be equals to minus ax1 minus, this goes over there, by1. So this is the value of lambda. Okay, so substituting the value of lambda into, okay, we will get the equation of the line, isn't it? Because our equation is this much, equation of this line is this much, and from here we have to remove lambda. Okay, so substituting okay, so we have ax plus by. Okay, so instead of lambda I am writing minus ax1 minus by1 equals to how much? Equals to 0. I hope the thing is clear to you. This is how much? This is lambda. Okay, in place of lambda I have written this. Now make use of these two. Okay, so you see that a is common. Yes, so we have a is common, so from here we have x, and from here we have minus x1, and from here plus b is constant common, right? So we have y minus, from here y1 is left, equals to 0. See, this is the equation of the parallel line. So that's what we need to show, isn't it? So we have successfully showed whatever we need to show. Alright, so you may pause the video to note down. Let's move on to question number 17. Question 17 says, find the equation of a straight line perpendicular to 2x equals to 3y plus 5 with x intercept equals to -4. Okay, so the given line is question number 17. Okay, so this is the given line, and let us try to write down in general form. Okay, so general form is 2x, everything comes out here, so minus 3y minus 5 equals to 0. Let me call this as equation 1. Okay, so since they are talking about, see here, since they are talking about perpendicular line. Okay, so the line perpendicular to this, okay, ax plus by plus c equals to 0 will be of the form bx minus ay plus lambda equals to 0, isn't it? Okay, so the line perpendicular to 1 will be of the form bx, and how much is b? B is minus 3, so it is bx minus ay, so minus a. How much is a? A is 2y plus lambda equals to 0, and let me call this as equation 2. Okay, now what they have given is, they have given us x intercept, right? For what? For the line number 2, whatever equation we need to find, for that x intercept is given. So from here also we will find x intercept. Okay, so for 2 x intercept, so what is the formula for finding x intercept? It is minus c by a, isn't it? And what is c here? For this I am talking about second. Okay, so c is lambda. Okay, so here we have minus lambda by a. A is how much? A is minus 3. So how much is this? This is lambda by 3. So this is the x intercept for this particular line, that is equation 2. But it is given that x intercept is how much? X intercept is minus 4. That means this is equals to how much? Minus 4, isn't it? So according to question, this x intercept, that is lambda by 3, must be equals to minus 4. Yes, so from here what is the value of lambda? The value of lambda turns out to be minus 12. Okay, so therefore from 2, this is the equation, right? So we have minus 3x minus 2y, and lambda is minus 12 equals to 0, right? So you can get rid of this minus sign, multiply both sides by minus. Okay, so you will get 3x plus 2y plus 12 equals to 0 is the line perpendicular to 1. Yes, is the line perpendicular to 1. Alright, so you may pause the video to note down. Okay, let's see the last question for the day, question number 18. Question says a line passes through point 2 comma 2 and perpendicular to the line 3x plus y equals to 3. Okay, so there's a line which is perpendicular to the given line. Okay, so you will be able to find what is the equation of that particular perpendicular line. Okay, so you have to find its y-intercept. Okay, so you have to find the y-intercept for that particular perpendicular line. Okay, so the given line here is 3x plus y equals to 3. Question number 18. Okay, so let me call this as equation 1. Okay, so the line perpendicular to 1 will be of the form, so since they are talking about perpendicularity, so again it has to be bx. So b is 1 here, so bx is x itself minus ay. A is 3, so ay plus lambda equals to 0. Let me call this as 2. Okay, now it is given that this line passes through the point 2 comma 2. Okay, so as number 2, equation 2 passes through 2 comma 2, we have, okay, so let's see what do we have. So we have, instead of x, can I write 2? Instead of y, can I write 2? Yes. So we have 2 minus 2 into 2 plus lambda equals to 0. So from here we have 2 minus 4 plus lambda equals to 0. So from here lambda turns out to be 2. Okay, so therefore equation of the required line from 2, okay, so from 2 is, so let us see, so it is x minus 3y plus lambda. Lambda is how much? It is 2 equals to 0. So this is the equation of that particular perpendicular line. Now we have to find what? We have to find its y-intercept. So therefore y-intercept, so formula for finding y-intercept is minus c by b, and c is how much? C is 2 by b. B is how much? Minus 3. So this is equals to how much? 2 by 3. So for this particular question, my answer will be 2 by 3. So you may pause the video to note down. Thank you very much.